Okay guys, welcome to part 2 of eToroing, the world's largest hedge fund. We are part 2 and this will be a short one just to run through the instruments that I will be using that are slightly different. Okay, so let's get into it. The first reason why I am not using the exact instruments is because not all the instruments are available on eToro. And I mentioned this in part 1. One of the examples I gave was TIPS, which is the inflation-linked bonds, but because we also do not have access to things like intermediate bonds, we have to maintain the spirit of the all-weather but not the form. So what we will do is, instead of taking the exact assets they recommend, I will just take a proxy and hopefully that works. One of the things I also will be doing is trying my best to use CFDs instead of ETFs. This is the example, like if you were to buy an ETF like the SPDR, which is the Nasdaq 100, I would prefer to buy the CFD version, which is under your indices in your eToro, instead of the ETF version, which is the S&P or SDR version, I believe. Okay, I believe these to be more liquid. I may be wrong here, but as of right now, from what I've read, this is my belief. I think it represents the spirit of the all-weather a bit better, because when I replicate the results, I think that it's a little bit more accurate. There's less slippage. Slippage is just the technical term, the difference between the ETF price and the S&P or the index price, and I just think the CFDs may be slightly better. Again, there is a technical overlay that I'll be using. That's why liquidity is important to me, and again, instruments are different. I keep mentioning this point because it is an important point. Okay, so one of the reasons why I have a technical overlay is because I believe in the function of bubbles. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you understand that I like George Soros, and one of George Soros' theory is the theory of reflexivity, that a market tends to move in the same direction because of virtuous and vicious cycles. And you can read more about it on his book Alchemy of Finance. I just took this subprime example from Wikipedia, and you can the links over here, and you can just go into that if you like. But generally, any asset tends to continuously move in the correct in one direction, whether it be right or wrong. It just keeps going and going and going and going, and when it explodes really fast. It goes down really fast. So my technical overlay is not to spot the top and the bottom of the market. It's just to spot which direction or which bubble we are headed towards. And that's really the purpose of the technical overlay. Okay, is there a way of spotting the top and the bottom, you may ask? I personally do not think so, because black swans, or if you read the book by Nassim Taleb, you understand that black swans are exactly what they are. Black swans, they appear out of nowhere and you cannot spot them. There are certain ones that you think you may be able to spot, certain behaviors that we may be able to spot, but for the most part they're difficult to see, forecast into the future. That's why if you look at bank reports and all that, most of them tend to be wrong. Okay, so not to get too much into that, next thing I'm going to say is I'm going to use the maximum number of leverage, which is 5 times on eToro's ETF basis. I will hold some cash just in case, and I will reduce exposure to certain instruments because I do not think it's reflective of the future market. So one of the things that I have is that when I rebalance my portfolio, or I use like I said in part 1, the standard deviations of the asset, or the amount that it changes per day, real estate is one of those that comes up, and in theory you should put quite a lot of weight into real estate, because real estate, since 2008, 2009, there was a bust and a boom, so obviously that cycle would have contributed a lot into the profits of the strategy. I'll show you that in part 3, which is the results part. But because I look at IYR, which is what we're using for real estate, we see that it's mostly REITs. REITs are real estate investment trusts, and these tend to be yield defensive instruments, which means they are skewed more towards fixed income. Because of that, I am a bit hesitant to put more risk into fixed income. I think we've had enough of fixed income, and our portfolio is skewed enough in that direction. So I'm reducing my exposure there. And I'll continue to reduce my exposure, increase my exposure to certain assets that you will see or that I will let you know about, because I have a certain view of the market. And again, that's my value add. If you want to do it on your own, you don't need to. Again, all weather is meant to be completely passive. This is just my value add and just how I see the market, and I think it will improve results somewhat. And I will only know forward looking into the future, of course. Okay, and that's it for part 2, guys. I'm just trying to keep these videos as short as possible. So part 3 will also be a short one.